Again, thank you all for being here. I've enjoyed various conversations with each of you. The ability for the U.S. to deploy new energy generation capacity and upgrade its grid, it's in many ways the key to the race against China. Energy is how we can win, and it's also how we can lose. Permitting in this country, it takes too long. China's command and control system means that they will not fail to deploy the energy needed to achieve the scale necessary to develop the most advanced models, which will drive all to the benefit of AI. So I'm glad to be working with Senator Lummis on the FREE Act, which would set up a permit by rule structure, which would let large projects meet comprehensive standards at the front end instead of dragged out on a case-by-case process. So we all want to protect the environment, and we all want to maintain U.S. economic and technological leadership. So, Mr. Intrator, what has CoreWeave's experience been in contracting power? And are you concerned that the current permitting system can make it hard for the U.S. to achieve capital investment and the scale needed to win this AI race?
So, as you said, access to power, access to scale power is certainly one of the keys to our ability to win this race. There are others, but it is one that I spend a lot of time thinking about. I separated the comment into access to power and access to scale power because I do think that we are moving towards a period of this race where the size, the magnitude of the infrastructure that is being required to move our artificial intelligence, the labs that are building it, the companies that are building it forward at the velocity that's necessary is going to be a specific challenge that really requires a lot of thought. We have a huge part of our organization focused on not just getting access to power, but getting access to the size and scale of power that's going to be able to build the infrastructure, at the scale of Abilene or close to it, in order to, allow this to move forward. It's tough, right? And it will get harder as we move through time because the existing infrastructure that does have opportunities, it has some level of elasticity, is going to be consumed. And once that is consumed, you're going to get down to kind of a first principle. How do we get power online now? And that's really going to be challenging within the regulatory environment as it currently is configured.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, a similar question. How is Microsoft trying to secure power for its data centers? I mean, we read about that in the news recently, but what does federal policy need to focus on to make sure that we don't lose this race because we can't get enough energy?
Well, we invest to bring more electricity generation onto the grid and then to bring it through the grid to our data centers. We probably have more permitting applications in more countries than quite possibly any company on the planet. Last time I looked at it, it was 872 applications in more than 40 countries. The number one challenge in the United States when it comes to permitting, interestingly enough, is not local, it's not state, it is the federal wetlands permit that is administered by the Army Corps of Engineers. We can typically get our local and state permits done in about 6 to 9 months. The wetlands permit is taking often 18 to 24 months. Both the outgoing Biden administration and the incoming Trump administration have focused on this. But if we could just solve that, we could accelerate a lot here in this country.
Very helpful. Thank you. Mr. Altman.